Now. And hello, welcome to another episode of Inside the Mastermind. And I am Darrell most days.
And I am Gregory McKinley other days.
And we're just laughing because I made a little bit of a snafu that you might see in the blooper reel at some point. But I'm just today's topic. We're talking about. We're just thinking: are you a light eater? And by light eater, are you a eater who only eats when there are lights on, as in all the time? That's what we're going to talk to you about today: is kind of diet and what kind of diet you have, if it's kind of making the right path for you today. Go ahead, Greg.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So with me, I like to think about having a very balanced eating habit because if you do that, that will actually lead to other areas of your life as far as like mentally, spiritually, financially, just have a clear head and you feel confident and have a lot of energy. So again, that's our topic today, just regarding health and diet. Like, what do you consume and put in your body, and is it good? Is it bad? Are you able to get rid of some of those other maybe bad habits and replace them with good habits of eating?
Absolutely. And I I don't know. I kind of struggle with this a little bit, but at the same time, I think I work out enough that it kind of counteracts it. But I've played around with vegetarian diets before. I actually played around with a paleo, a ketogenic no carb diet for about 2 days, and my accountability buddy Jason knows that I only lasted like 2 days, maybe not even that amount of time. Have you played around with any diets yourself? Great, great.
Yeah, actually, because yeah, before I was a super carnivore, like I ate all kinds of meat besides pork. But then a couple years ago, I cut out red meat and beef, and now that was really hard. It took me over a year to really get out of my system. Now, when I look at red meat, I have no desire. I don't crave it at all. So I cut that out a couple years ago, and then very recently, maybe within the last 6 months or so, I actually became, now I wouldn't say I'm a full vegan, but I'm more pescatarian. So I still do eat seafood, but I did cut out other meats such as turkey and chicken, which again were very hard because I do love turkey burgers and chicken burgers and wings. I love wings, but yeah, I cut that out, and I still do eat seafood, and I do dabble a little bit with dairy, but yeah, I kind of just cut out a lot of that stuff just because just based on my research and watching certain documentaries and speaking with people who have health problems, I noticed that they all still have those types of things in their diet, and especially in America, with the food that we have and all the injections and all it's just not healthy for us. There's if you look at other countries, they ban certain things we allow in our food here, and they're considered those like dangerous poisons. And that's something that people should really think about. So I just decided to cut out that stuff because, again, I was always inspired by Jackie Chan when I was younger. And he's sick in his 60s, and he could still run up walls and fight like he's in his 30s. And he inspired me when I was young. Say, you know what? When I get older, I want to be able to move like Jackie Chan. So I decided to take actions earlier so I can eat healthier now and be healthy. So then when I'm in my 60s and 70s, I can still run up walls and go, maybe hiking and skydiving, things like that. But yeah, so I did take some steps to actually have a more healthier diet.
That's awesome. Pescatarian is kind of a diet for those unfamiliar. Well, I think you already mentioned it, but pescatarian is just you eat pretty much greens and things that don't have faces, with the exception of fish. Is that a pretty good description of what a pescatarian is there? Or
Yeah, because yeah, for me, I still think of it as far as, just eating like seafood, just like still, yeah, like eat fish and seafood. So I still eat shrimp and crab and lobster and some fish. But yeah, pescatarian is more of like seafood versus land animals, like more water based
okay.
animals, if you do think about it that way.
Yeah, and I myself have played around with I myself have played around with a flexitarian diet, which is kind of just like you're cheating at being a vegetarian. I've also played around with the idea of a vegetarian diet, and I think I actually was a vegetarian for about 6 weeks. I lasted about 6 weeks. One one thing I should go ahead and throw out as a disclaimer before you start any new kind of diet, consult your doctor. We are not doctors at all whatsoever, any way, shape, or form. So don't come after us like, hey, there said like eat fish and like now I have a tumor or something. Yeah, don't don't come at us that way because we don't have anything to. We don't take any responsibility. We're just kind of having an open conversation about diets right now, and I personally believe that the vegetarian diet is probably the best diet. Like you talk to a lot, well, you hear about, I should say, hear about a lot of octogenarians, people who are a little bit older there, and their journeys there, and a lot of them have plant-based diets there. And I guess my struggle is that I didn't get the right amount of B vitamins that you needed because was feeling pretty fabulous the first 2-3 weeks that I had it, but then about the fifth or sixth week, I had just had no energy. It was like I hit a wall. And usually like I only need 5 or 6 hours of sleep, and I was sleeping 8 hours a day, and I was like, it's still a little bit groggy. So that was kind of not a good feeling for me. Did you have any changes or anything yourself there, Greg, when you kind of moved over to pescatarian diet at all?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's crazy. Me, I was sort of the opposite. Like, yeah, well, I know you said in the beginning you had energy, but yeah, I had my thoughts were very clear. I was able to focus a little bit more. I did feel very high
Greg,
energy and just felt really good.
Greg,
I do take B vitamins as far as like
hold on.
supplements, like vitamins that I
Oh,
take out of my own online store. But yeah, I do take B vitamins, just kind of supplement for it because that is one thing that actually I think people lack if you do go to that diet, like B vitamins and maybe some deficiencies or iron. But yeah, so I just take a couple of supplements just to kind of with fresh fruits and vegetables. But no, I feel pretty good. It's been sick almost 6 months and still going. I feel good.
I was just going to say that audio probably kind of cut out there a little bit for you. I think it's 100% my fault, but if you like, I heard the last part of it that you've been doing it for about 6 months or so. But I don't know if you wanted to recap or whatever. We can also move on and stuff, but um,
Oh, okay. Can you hear me okay?
yeah, I can hear you great now. Hear you great now. So, but just a little bit of audio issue, not a big deal. Um,
Yeah, I could do a quick recap. It was just what I just stated was, yeah, when I first started, I noticed I was actually using the restroom a lot because like it's like your body is getting rid of all the gunk that's in there, and you don't even realize it because you're eating so much meat and stuff, and I mean you
right,
feel fine and you think you're good, but then even when I stopped eating it, it's like it increased my restroom visits. But
right.
then I felt good, like I felt like I was lighter. I had my metabolism sped up. Had more energy. I was very focused. My thoughts were just very clear in my mind. It was just crazy. So to me, like, wow, this is amazing. So it motivated me to keep doing it. But I said I do take supplements, like I do, have an online store as well where I buy B vitamins from my store to take, and some couple of supplements. But yeah, with that and eating fresh fruits and vegetables, I feel great.
Okay, great. Um, and I guess the question for the audience is what foods do you guys eat regularly? That what do you see a benefit from? I definitely see whenever I kind of get in there and actually start eating my green and leafy vegetables more often, I definitely like feel a little bit better and feel a little bit cleared out. It's just I guess when uh, not taking the right supplements. And now I know this guy, so maybe I'll try the vegetarian diet again because I have a lot. I mean, a lot of friends. Being a meditator, I have a lot of friends who kind of believe that harm to animals in any form is kind of a no-no. So they go with a vegetarian, and I have a couple vegan um, friends as well. In fact, I just had had brunch with a friend who's a vegetarian, but we ate at a vegan bakery this
Hmm.
the other week and stuff, and had some vegan eggs and that in a vegan breakfast burrito, which was pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, I would kind of what I would throw out there to people who are listening to this right now, if you have, it, I mean, if you are looking to kind of change your diet a little bit, first consult a physician because we are not that. But after that, I would encourage you to go ahead and maybe um, even take a look at Greg's own um, Greg's own website here, where he does has some healthy products to assist you in your journey there, and we'll have it put in the description here in a little bit as well if it's not there right at this moment. So just be aware of that. But I think we'll go ahead and wrap up at this point, unless you had anything else you wanted to say on the topic there, Greg. Anything else you'd like to share about diets?
Yeah, just I totally, just one quick other areas where also too, I like to actually, I made it a habit of reading labels when I go grocery shopping because I just get the cheapest of every product and while I'm gonna save money, but at the same time, I start to realize over time, it's probably going to have me spend more money with having to take all these pills and prescription drugs. So I started to read labels, become very conscious of that. And I try to buy things that make sense, that words I can understand. And I have like a 20 word, a 20-letter word on something. I'm like, what is this? So yeah, I buy things usually with like a handful of ingredients, 5, maybe 10 ingredients, but they're all natural, organic. Also, I avoid high fructose corn syrup. I don't buy anything with that at all. It was hard again in the beginning to actually get rid of that because once I started to say, okay, I'm going to cut this out and this out, the first thing was high fructose corn syrup. But I noticed everything I owned had high fructose corn syrup in it. So I had to cut out like, sodas and stuff because I love sodas and the bubbly, carbonated soda. But yeah, I just learned, all alternatives to actually still give me the same satisfaction from different foods and beverages, just on the healthier side. I also make homemade fresh smoothies. I use turmeric powder and ashwagandha, which are really big in India. But I use those when I make fresh smoothies at home versus buying. Just try to avoid like processed and packaged food as much as possible. Or if I do get something, just make sure it's more of a healthier, like a Beyond Beef or Gardein type of supplement. Like, it's not real meat. It just looks like meat, but it's really good. So that was the only other thing I would add to that.
So I would now I want to add that like I have not really drank any soda for like years, and that's because my dad had a heart attack like a little bit younger than I am right now. And
Mm.
after he had that heart attack, he's just like no soda in the house, and haven't had soda in the house like intentionally since I was about 10, 13, 14 or so. So I think that might have a factor because there's some high fructose corn syrup in soda, I believe. Anyway, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up at this point there. But thank you guys for joining inside the mastermind today. I guess something that the audience can do here this day is kind of do something similar to what Greg is doing. Look up the labels, but you could also count your calories for the week. You could actually kind of make it a habit just for this week to look at the calories that are and everything that you consume. And even if you're going to fast food, I think most states right now they have calories on the menus at this point, so you can kind of look at how, or you can ask for how many calories are in things. Just take a look at the calories, see how many calories you're consuming, and take a look at what the normal calories are for the average adult human being there, and kind of go forward from there. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up at this point.
But also, yeah, just really quickly, if you're looking for a mastermind group and for someone to help push you and keep you on track, Darrell's the guy, that guy right over there across from me digitally. He's accepting the applications for his next beta mastermind group. So you go ahead in the description. The information will be in the description below. So go ahead and click on that regarding the mastermind group if to submit your application to Darrell.
And as I mentioned, if you're going to become a vegetarian or going to try and become a vegan, and you're going to need some supplements to kind of supplement what you're missing from meat and protein there on a regular basis. So definitely go ahead and check out Greg's site, which will be in the description as well. Planet Greens In, I believe it is, but we'll have the full link to it later on after we go through the editing process. And finally, we'll go ahead and end with a quote. I've got a quote. If you're not ready with one, Greg, or
Go for it.
share? Okay. So the quote that I have right now. Here is, oh gosh, and it just jumped out of my head. All right, so this is from
I think
Mark
I
Twain. He says, the only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. And it's not that severe today. In the times we have, there are healthy things that taste good, but just be aware of that. Like if you're eating fast food every day, it's not going to change. Well, thank you for joining Inside the Mastermind, and until next time, talk to you later.
thank you guys.
All right, take care. Bye, and we'll stop.